Finally got my Take Me Home tour t-shirt in just in time for the new album to drop. You best believe that is all I've had on repeat the past, how many days has it been out now? 4, 5 days? No skips. Not a single skip. So today we are back with a book haul. I think I'm kind of gonna do these quarterly. That's kind of how it's fell this year, that it's just like when I happen to have like a bigger chunk of books, then I do a haul, and that's kind of turning into like every 3 months. I will probably have one more at the end of the year, but this is like all of the ones from, I think I did my last one back in May or June, like early summer. So I have about 30, I think a little bit less than 30 books that I have accumulated over the past 3-4 months. So let's jump in. I don't really know how to organize this, but I do have quite a few special edition books actually that I got. So why don't we go through like the special editions and then we'll just get into the rest of them. So also let me just adjust this a tiny bit. All right, so first up, I remember the exact moment I opened this. It came at the perfect time because I was having just a down bad day. And of course, my friend Nikki, my bestie on here, Nikki, I love you. Nikki from Nikki and Bookland sent me the second volume of the Off Balance like collections. So volume 1 consists of the first 3 books and volume 2 has the last 2 books. And she sent me this as a hitting 5K present, and it came at the perfect time. I needed that day, you know? I just needed something good. And I just absolutely love it. This is my favorite series of all time, and I'm so happy to have both of the volumes, and oh, it's just so beautiful. I just love it, and it made me cry when I opened it. So very happy to have that. Let's see. Okay, so Mystic Box. So I finally got off of the wait list for Mystic Box again. I had gotten one box from them previously. I got the previous Penelope Douglas box when they did it years ago with Corrupt and Birthday Girl, and then so they announced that they were doing another Penelope Douglas box. So I got on the wait list and I like just missed out. I was so close. I just missed out on the Penelope Douglas box. So I was trying to find someone that was going to sell their box, and I could not find anyone that was selling it, but I did have 2 amazing friends on here that offered to each send me one of the books in the series. So Hideaway, my amazing friend Claudia sent me. She knew how much I loved Hideaway, and she was willing to part ways with it, and I'm so thankful to her for that. Claudia, still, I love you. Thank you for this. And so yeah, I got Hideaway. And then Caitlin from the Love Librarian, she offered to send me Kill Switch. When I had posted that I got Hideaway, then she was like, well, do you have Kill Switch? I'll send you Kill Switch. And I was like, dead. Caitlin, I love you. Like, truly, if I can only save a select few books off of my shelves, these are like, no doubt they're coming with me. So I'm so freaking happy, so freaking thankful that they offered to send those to me. And now I'm off of the Mystic Box waitlist. I got off in time for the Pam Godwin box, and I got like a full year. So I'm set for a while because I know they're gonna do Nightfall at some point. So I'm just gonna stay subscribed until they do that last one. And they have so many other amazing authors. Like Jennifer Hartman's gonna be coming up soon, so I'm excited for hers. But the Pam Godwin box. Then Dark Notes, the foiling on this is beautiful. The sprayed edges, like, are you kidding me? And also like they're signed, and the formatting, let me find interior. Like I'm literally, I'm just deceased. This is stunning. Dark Notes is my favorite book by Pam Godwin, and my other favorite book by her, Sea of Ruin, was the other one. So again, we have the sprayed edges on it, the foiling on the front. It's just absolutely beautiful. Again, it's signed, and let me find a formatting page. Like, are you joking? Are you joking? Obsessed. So very happy to have those. And then my last special edition was when Claudia sent me Hideaway, she was like, hey, I have an extra copy. Like QB Tyler had sent her a second copy of a signed Unconditional, and she was like, do you want it? Because I have 2. And I was like, hell yeah. Like I didn't have this special edition of it yet. So she also offered to send me this one. So again, Claudia, thank you. I am so excited to have this. I'm getting close to completing my QB Tyler collection, and I'm very, very excited. There are like some of the special editions, like the Unconditional with the flower covers. It's like, I'll probably never get that one because like that one you just can't find anywhere. And like, I don't know about the Love Unexpected hardback, if that one's still out or if that was a limited time. But so there are going to be select few that I won't be able to find, but I'm very close to having all of her books, and I'm very excited about that. Okay, special editions out of the way. Let's get into these. So back at, when did this come out? July? I bought both versions of Twisted Lies by Anna Huang because I have both sets of covers. So when she announced that these ones got, like the series got picked up by, is it Bloom or something, and they were only keeping these covers and not the men covers. And actually, I prefer the men covers in this series. I do love these ones as well, but I, of course, had to buy both because I need to have both full collections. So I now have both full collections. Moving forward, Anna Huang is just an auto-buy author for me. This series completely like blew my socks off. I gave all 4 books 5 stars. Like even Twisted Lies, which is, I guess, like my least favorite book of the series, I still absolutely loved and gave 5 stars. So very happy to have both of these. They do look really pretty on my shelves. This Christian, so hot, would smash. And this is just beautiful, and they look nice. I like the pastel colors too. It breaks up because a lot of my books on my bookcase are black, so like it looks nice to have just like little pops of pastel. So yeah, had to buy both of those. Other recent purchases. So I had the first book in the Wolf Hotel series, so I had to buy and complete the last 3. So Break Me is book 2. Teach Me is book 3, and Surrender to Me is book 4. I absolutely love this series. I read it earlier this year, earlier in the summer, I think, like maybe back in June, and it completely consumed me. I was so consumed with this series, and I just had to have all of Henry and Abby on my shelf. So it wasn't enough to just have book 1. I love them, and they're so like cute and tiny. They're like very petite little books. Okay, next is a gift from one of my favorite people on here, Cheyenne from That Tall Book Girl. She read Home Game a couple of months ago and like was obsessed with it, and I was like, oh, I had that downloaded on my Kindle for a while, and she was like the final push for me to just go ahead and read it, and I did, and I absolutely loved it. And then she sent me a copy of Home Game. I know I've said I'm not the biggest fan of like Abs when there's like no point to it, but honestly, like this one I don't care because it's just nice to look at, okay? Love this, and I'm going to collect the rest of the Vancouver Wolves series because so far, like this book was 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely loved. My favorite book of the month that I read. And then I loved Puck Me Secretly. That's book 1. And once again, I need to read book 3. When will I read book 3? I don't know. Whenever my mood decides, I'm ready for it. But absolutely loved this. Oh, and I like the red spine on it a lot too. Okay, so this one I'm currently rereading. So when Jess and Tori went to, this was from Book Bonanza this past summer, they texted and they were like, hey, what's like an author you would want a book from? Like, let us know. Or like, what are some books you'd want from an author? So I sent them like a few different options, and I was like, surprise me with whatever. So they, off of that list, they got me Priest by Sierra Simone with the beautiful flower cover. I love the man covers, but here's the thing. I remember seeing with Sierra Simone that these books got like picked up by a traditional publisher, and then she was not going to move forward with doing man covers for the last 2 books I think that she's writing in it, and that they'll only be flowers. So I wanted them all to match. So I'm glad that I have the flower one for that because I will need them to all match. I can't mix and match. And it's signed, it says to McKay, Father Bell's Little Lamb. Bitch, I scream. Okay, so I'm currently reading this because the book club that I have with my friends, they have never read smut before. They thought that like It Ends With Us was, ooh, like that was spicy. So when they picked this, because a couple of them grew up Catholic, and I'm like, I think this will actually help you like kind of heal a little bit. And we're reading it right now. They're loving it. I'm a little behind because I missed last week's meeting, but they finally got to the scene with the holy oils and the altar, and they're just having a whole experience with this book, and they're loving it. And yeah, I'm loving rereading it with them. And it's been a while since I read this. I read this like 2 years ago maybe. And thank you to Jess and Tori for getting me a signed one. Okay, next I bought Hunting Adeline by H.T. Carlton. I have Haunting, I just didn't have Hunting and Haunting. This is one of my favorite books that I read this year. The longer I sit on this book, the more and more I just absolutely love it. I read it at the beginning of the year. Haunting Adeline was slow for me. Book 1 was a little slow. I gave that one a lower rating, but this one, like 5 out of 5 stars. The story was insane. It's super, super dark. Tons of triggers. But oh my God, it's incredible. And I had to have it. I will also be seeing H.G. Carlton at Book Bonanza next year. She's on the lineup. So I wanted to have like both of them so that way I could take them both with. Now that I know that I'm going to Book Bonanza, I'm just going to slowly but surely start buying books. So that way like next year when it's time to go, I'm not like then all of a sudden buying a huge chunk. So I was like, you know what, let me just get Haunting Adeline. And now I have the complete duet. This book, again, one of my most like valuable and treasured books that I have in my collection. So when we were in Atlanta, when a group of us booktubers went to Atlanta for a retreat, one morning I was having breakfast downstairs with Sam from Sam Reads Little, and we were talking because we were going book shopping that day, and some people were talking about like what rare books they're looking for when they go thrifting, because like a lot of them collect historicals. And I was like, well, when I go, I always look for Falling Away by Penelope Douglas, because it's like I don't collect historicals, so I don't really know what's like rare with those. But I'm like, but I always look for Falling Away by Penelope Douglas, the third book in the Fall Away series, because it is impossible to find a US edition of that is not going to cost you like $70, $80, $90 on Macari or some like online reseller. It's like, I'm not spending that much on one single book. But Sam was like, I have a copy of it and I'll send it to you. And she did. So now I have this beauty. Oh my God, I'm so happy to have this. I have completed then my Falling Away collection. I have every single Penelope Douglas book, except I don't have the Credence. Is it the Hello Lovely one? The one that Emily designed. The like water face one. Yeah, so I still like look for that. But now that I have this complete, I'm just so happy. And Sam, once again, thank you. I love you. I'm so happy to have this. Here we can clear out 4 in one go. I got the Salacious Players Club series by Sarah Kate, because once again, the man covers are going to be going away, and I love the man covers, and I knew I would buy these books eventually. I just was not planning on buying them all at once, but the man covers are going away at the end of August, and then they're only going to be available in the discrete covers that the publisher is going to do or whatever, so I knew I had to have them. So the first book is Praise, Eyes on Me with Garrett. Love this cover. Love this cover. Book 2. Give Me More. Again, this cover is insane. And then Mercy, my favorite book in the series. And also I love this cover. The mustache, I don't know if I'm feeling, but this cover is beautiful. So yeah, I got all 4 of those. And also because I'm going to be seeing Sarah Kate at Book Bonanza again, so then I was like, well, at least I also have these going into that. So, okay, next up, one of you guys sent these to me. So Alana, thank you again. Sorry about the hassle with the package. There was a little bit of mishap getting it in the mail, but you know what? It all worked itself out. So she had DM'd me on Instagram and said that she bought the entire Magnolia Parks trilogy. If you haven't seen these going around, I don't know where you've been. I feel like they have been literally everywhere. Everyone is talking about them. And she bought them and read, and I thought you had just read the first one, but it looks like you had read the second one as well, and like did not vibe, and was like, I'm literally never gonna reread these and I don't want to keep them, so I'll send them to you. And I was like, well, I would love to give them a shot. So she offered to send them to me. So I now have the Magnolia Parks trilogy. So the first one is Magnolia Parks, and then Daisy Hates, and then Long Way Home is the third and final book. So I for sure am going to be reading Magnolia Parks this month. I'm going to be doing a reading BookTube's most hyped romances, and this is one of them. Heard amazing things, but then also some of my friends, well, most of my friends, I will say, absolutely loved it and are like obsessed with them. Some of my friends not so much, but I'm interested like for my own opinion. Nikki did say that she got similar vibes to After when she was reading, of like the back and forth like addictive kind of quality that After had, and After was my gateway into romance years ago. So if this can give me that same feeling, I'm about to be unwell. Okay, we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more books left. So I bought another one for that Magnolia Parks vlog that I'm going to be doing for Hyped BookTube Romances is A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. I got the 5th anniversary edition of this one. Candy Steiner was having a huge sale in the month of September on all of her books because it was her wedding month. So pretty much like all of her paperbacks were half off. So this is normally a pretty pricey book, and I got it for like $17, which I was like, that's a steal. Also, she's going to be at Book Bonanza, so once again, a book should go towards that. And yeah, I have heard amazing things about this over the years, and I've just never gotten around to reading it. I've kind of like pushed it off, I think, because it's like so angsty and emotional and whatever. But I'm finally going to bite the bullet and read it. Okay, next is another one that one of you guys sent me. Delilah sent me this one, and she sent me Love Unexpected by QB Tyler. I've been needing Stassi and Dominic back in my life. I've been really wanting to do like a rereading my favorites, even though this was not a favorite when I first read it. I loved it, but it was not like I think this was 4 stars for me, where I feel like now where I'm at with my taboo journey, kind of like with Priest. I read Priest really early on. I read these 2 in the same reading vlog, and I just was too early, I think, on in my taboo journey. I loved this, but I think I was just like, there's no plot to it. I don't care anymore if there's no plot to it. I really don't care. So I think now this time this will be a 5-star read for me. So I think in December, I think December I'm going to kind of devote myself to just rereading old favorites. So yeah, I'm so happy to have this. And once again, like I said, my QB Tyler collection is getting close to being completed. A new release that I bought the second it went available for pre-order, and that is Out of Bounds by Lucia Franco. So this is, it's like a follow-up book to the Off Balance series, but it's not like another novel or novella or anything like that. So it's just a companion novel. And also we have Kova on the cover. Bitch, unwell, him and his hat. Oh, so anyways, this book has tons of stuff in it. So it has like an introduction. There's deleted scenes from like the whole series. So like deleted scenes from each of the books. So they don't like have a coherent story between them. It's just like more Rhea and Kova material. So it's like you have to be like a diehard fan of the series to like care about this, which it's like, hello. My favorite part of this though was Lucia Franco interviewed Kova in this. I cried at it. Oh my God, it was so good. I'll talk about it more in my wrap up, obviously. But, and then she had a letter, like, just about the Off Balance series and, like, all that she went through with that. And, like, an excerpt from Avery and Xavier's book that's going to be coming out next year. I just absolutely loved it. And, of course, I had to have it in my collection. And let's get the other Lucia Franco book out of the way that I bought. I bought Say Yes, which is the novella to Hush Hush. I finally just read that. I had bought that book. I've had it on my shelves for, like, 2 years, and I finally just read it for the readathon. I didn't want to be caught up with Lucia Franco's writing, but I was like, I gotta finally read it. Read it, loved it, and now I need to read the little novella. I mean, not little. This is like, it's like a novel length, almost like a very short novel. Very excited to read this and see more about Aubrey and Daddy James. Last two books, Tori sent me The Lady Gets Lucky by Joanna Shupe. This is my first, besides Sea of Ruin, this is my first historical romance to own. It is so freaking cute. Like, although I guess that's even like, you know, these indie books are not big, you know, like they're kind of tiny indie books. Look at how little it is. It's so freaking adorable. Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings, when we did a vlog, like we picked books for each other to read. She picked me this book and I'm so happy that she did. I never would have picked it up on my own, but I absolutely loved it. And Tori sent me this for hitting 6K. So, oh my God, I just love it. I love you, Tori. And I'm so happy to have it. I will definitely be you know, like books that you read and you're like, I love it, but like, will I ever go back and reread it? No. Oh, this is one that I will 100% be going back and rereading at some point because it was just so freaking good. And I have the first book on hold from my library right now because my library has all of these and I want to read the rest of the series. Last book that I bought. So this one got picked up again by a traditional publisher and it's getting a new cover. So now you can't buy this. I wish I would have actually gotten this video up before the cover changed over because now you cannot buy this one anymore, but that is Underneath the Sycamore Tree by B. Celeste. So this cover is completely out of print now and it will only be the new bloom cover of it, which I'm gonna be honest right here. That bloom cover, no. Literally no. You know what, here, I'll insert a picture of it here because you can, you know what, here, I'll hold it out of the sunlight. This beautiful cover or this one. I love this book. I had just put off on buying it just because I don't like instantly buy books the second that like I read them and love them. It's more like I just like, I don't know. I wait until the mood strikes me that I'm like, I feel like spending money. So I just put off buying this one for the longest time because I read it back in 2020. But then when I found out that this cover is going to be out of print, I'm like, well, there's the boost that I needed and I made sure that I snagged it because I knew I wanted this book and I have a couple of B. Celeste's other books and like she's one that I want to collect more from, but I just knew that I did not want that bloom cover. So I had to snag this one before it went and I love this cover. I think it's so beautiful and I don't know why they changed it so drastically. All right, that's like the 30-ish books that I have accumulated over the past few months. I know I said that my wrap up was going to go up when this video went up, but here's the thing, it's only the what day is it? Is it I can't check my phone. It's like the 28th that I'm filming this or something. So there were still a couple of books that I'm in the middle of that I just didn't want to like not include in that wrap up. So instead that's going to be my video up on Tuesday next week. So that way I can make sure that I have everything that I read in September in there. So anyways, that is it for today and I will see you when I see you.